Welcome to Stories by the Fireplace, where every tale warms the heart. Tucked between red hills and tall acacia trees lived a boy named Kato. His parents were humble farmers who prayed with deep voices and hopeful hearts. Every morning still the sun rose, and every night before sleep they knelt on their woven mat and called upon the Lord. But still, they lived from hand to mouth. Their plot was small. Their harvests were thin. Many nights, the cooking pot held more steam than food. Young Kato watched all this and felt a quiet anger grow inside him. He wondered how his parents could bow their heads so faithfully while their stomachs stayed empty. He never said it out loud, but resentment settled in him like a stone. As he grew into a man, Kato tried to follow their ways. He prayed for money, success, and a life beyond struggle. He prayed for a house of brick instead of mud walls, a future without worry. But nothing changed. Each night he prayed. Each morning he woke feeling like he had been forgotten. He dragged himself to work on nearby farms, complaining about the sun, the soil, the pay, everything. He did the least he could. He blamed God for the rest. One evening, after a long day of half-hearted labor, Kato sat under the old baobab tree in the middle of the village. Children played. Elders told stories. Traders packed their goods. Kato pulled out his old phone and started watching videos from preachers across the world. Some were local voices he knew. Some were faces from faraway places with huge followings and shiny suits. Some he trusted. Some he didn't. But as he watched, something struck him. Every preacher who had grown, every teacher who had followers, every one of them had skills. They read, they studied, they practiced speaking until their words carried weight. Some knew scripture like the back of their hands. Others crafted messages with care. Even the ones he thought were tricksters still trained themselves. They knew how to talk. They knew how to persuade. They put in effort. They had sharpened their gifts. And Kato thought about his own days, how he prayed with passion but worked with laziness, how he waited for blessings but never lifted himself to meet them halfway. A simple truth hit him with the force of a drumbeat. Even the rain only helps the seeds that were planted. He remembered an old proverb his father used to say when he was a child. God blesses the work of your hands, not the dust on your feet. That night, Kato sat on the ground, looking up at the wide African sky. For the first time, he asked himself the questions he had avoided. What skill do I have? What am I willing to grow? What work can my hands offer? He realized he had been blaming God for a harvest he never planted. So Kato made a choice. He picked one skill he had always taken for granted. He was good with wood. Ever since childhood, he could shape a piece of timber into something useful. A spoon, a stool, a carving. For the first time in years, he leaned into his craft. He asked questions. He watched tutorials. He practiced day and night. He stopped complaining at work and started saving for better tools. And like the first drops of rain after a long dry season, change began to come. People noticed his carvings. Children asked for toys. Families asked for chairs. Travelers asked for souvenirs. His work grew. His name traveled. And Kato's life shifted, not because God suddenly heard him, but because he finally gave God something worth blessing. Today, elders in the village tell their story to young ones who sit under the baobab tree. They say, Kato learned that prayer is the wind, but work is the sail. Prayer can guide you, but your hands must move. When you plant effort, blessings have a place to grow. And that is the tale of Kato, the man who discovered that faith is strongest when it walks with action.